What's up, nerds? Goz Master here with another Magic the Gathering puzzle quest. Today's quest, Ellywick Tumblestrum. I'm going to be spotlighting a new planeswalker, a mono-green walker, in the vault today, completing our set of 5. I'll get the red one out soon, I promise. But in this one, we're going to be talking about Ellywick. The bearer of the morning mist brings joy and excitement wherever she sets foot into legends, romances, adventures. When Ellywick Tumblestrum sings, everyone that listens is able to join the stories. Now, as you know, I'm a huge D&D nerd. I love playing D&D. have a weekly game I get into, or bi-weekly game. So Ellywick Tumblestrum is a green-aligned gnome bard from the Forgotten Realms. She's in, obviously, the Adventures of the Forgotten Realms set. And she's also going to be featured in the Wild Beyond the Witchcraft book set that's coming out soon. I think it's September something or other, 2021. Though depicted on a Planeswalker card, she is not actually a Planeswalker in MTG lore. Ellywick Tumblestrum has beguiled a Fey Prince, calmed the fury of the Nine Hells, twisted the mind of an Archmage, won the love of a Dragon God, and brought a Demon Queen to tears. The magic of a wish spell granted by a lucky draw from her deck of many things made her the greatest bard in the multiverse. Her music bends the hearts and minds to her will, draws animals to her side, and reshapes the environment. Oh, what a bard. There's only one problem I have. I can't stand bards. I think they're a silly character class. So you're going to go into a dungeon to go look for treasure, and you're going to loot at the demon that's defending it? I don't think so, homie. At any rate, Oktagon, thank you for spicing it up. Number 1, for giving me access to Ellywick. I can't thank you guys enough for that. She's been a lot of fun. In looking at Ellywick, she is a mono-green, level 60. She's got 125 life. Dungeon Tales, venture into the dungeon, then draw a card. If you have dungeon spoils, create 3 gold tokens, which is at 6. At 9, legendary allies, pick one of the first 4 different cards from your library, fetch that card, it gains half of its mana. If that card is legendary, you gain 9 life, then you gain 6 loyalty. And then third ability, Adventurous Songs, create an Adventurous Song token. Your creatures get +X/+X, gain haste and trample. X is 5+2 per dungeon you've completed. So you can maximize at 3 dungeons completed between the mad, whatever it is. I'll go through them here. There's so many different choices. Venturing into the dungeons is dungeons and decision fatigue. Oh my gosh. You have so many different choices. I think I found the best line to take with her, and I'll be sharing that with you guys here in today's video. Her mana gains are similar to everybody else. +5 to green, +4 to red. It was +5 for a while. -1 to black, -2 to blue, and then +3 to white. So green, red, white, green, red, white, green, red, white, green, red, white. That's the order you want to take them in. And in fact, I often encourage, just like with others, because we have so much conversion in the meta right now, focus on using her red using matching red gems so you can leave the green gems on the board. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. She's got alignment. Toss a coin to your hero alignment green. The first creature card in your hand gains 2 mana. If the card is legendary, it gains 3 mana instead. That's actually pretty good if you're playing the legendary build, which I'll show you here in a minute. Ellywick is a weird planeswalker. Now, the most powerful planeswalker in the game right now is the mono-green planeswalker, I should say, is Nissa Worldwaker, right? And I did not expect this to have any kind of challenge to that. And I don't think realistically I'm going to convince anybody here that Ellywick is better than Nissa Worldwaker. So let's just take that off the board. That said, Ellywick is a conundrum in that she's very mechanic dependent. She can do it on her own at some point, like the Adventurous Song, green support card, emblem 4, token resilient, venture into the dungeon. When you make your first match during your turn, venture into the dungeon. So she is self-contained, and that plays. Like, you want to get to your third, use that as much as possible. You can use your first to go into it, but it's better to have your third on the board and to actually have some dungeon spoils in play before you do anything. Then, for each dungeon you've completed, trigger the following effects. If you've completed the Dungeon of the Red Mage, each card in your hand gains 3 mana. If you've completed the Lost Mine of Philanderer, your creatures get +2/+2. Or if you've completed Tome of Annihilation, gain 3 life for each legendary card on the battlefield and in all graveyards. That plays. At some points, that plays, especially if you're in a grindier game. I got stuck against a loop deck without any removal. My first couple of playtests, I built a deck without removal for Ellywick. It was a dumb build because I just wanted to feature some of the adventure into the dungeon stuff. That game took 30 minutes against a Gnawbone deck, and then there was another one I played similarly because I wanted to test it again against an Omnipotence deck. This deck won, and I have no clue how it won. Like all that back end stuff played. It was insane. Now, don't think that this deck or this Planeswalker is stronger than an Omnipotence deck. It's not for the most part. It was just that one loop that I got into with Greg. It took 30 minutes to finish, but this deck won. And it left me to the conclusion of it does so much that I don't understand completely how it works or how it wins. So I'm just going to show it to you, all right? Okay, so this is my Pauper build. We're going to start off with George Strait here. He's a wandering troubadour. If you know the song, comment below. Let me know that you're into George Strait. I'm not, but my wife is, which means I am. 12 mana, venture into the dungeon, 5/3, creature, dragon, bard. We got another bard, baby. When you convert 3 or more green gems to green, venture into the dungeon. This effect can trigger up to 2 times per turn. So there's one way to trigger it. You find a cursed idol. Let's see, is Ellywick in here? I believe she is. Yep, there she is. So she's featured in this. And quick shout out to the art team and Watsy for throwing out an homage to the old school first edition Dungeon Master's guide here. Love that. I love that. That's the cover of that. That's the idol that's on the cover of it. Destroy an opposing artifact or enchantment support. If you can't, create a gold token, then venture into the dungeon. Right? Skipped one. Intrepid Outlander is one of the creatures, 7 mana. It's got reach. Very important in this build. Venture, 2/3, creature, orc, ranger, pack tactics, venture into the dungeon. So you want to have everybody buffed on your team, you can venture into the dungeon. Dungeon map, 7 mana. 3 shield, artifact. When you activate a loyalty ability, venture into the dungeon. Then the first card with venture into the dungeon in your hand gains 4 mana. When you complete a dungeon, create a gold token. So you're going to get gold tokens galore. I don't know where they come from. It's just a menagerie of stuff. Yaris, Silvery Moon Ranger. Actually, this is a peasant build, not a pauper build. 12 mana for a creature, human, elf, ranger. He's got ward. If they drain 3 mana from their hand, then they can target this guy on our turn, on their turn. When you cast a creature or vanguard card, venture into the dungeon. This effect can trigger up to 2 times per turn. When you complete a dungeon, create a wolf token. Woo, wolf tokens. I never use the wolf tokens, they just get in the way. Actually, not true. I'll show you some instances where that does. 5 mana for field trip, green conversion, 6, and then we learn, reclaim the waste, 7 gems to green. Druid class. Druid class and Wizard class are becoming some of my favorite new mechanics and cards. Just because they don't stack, they don't reinforce. 10 mana. This support can't be reinforced. Mana field, increase this card's level by 1. Convert 2 gems to green. If this card's levels 3 or more, convert 4 gems to green instead. Landfall green, you gain 3 life. When this card's level becomes 4, your first creature gets +X/+S and gains trample. X is the number of green gems up to 8. Very powerful card. Eureka moment, since we're playing a mono-colored green walker, green or blue, draw 2 cards, convert 4 gems to your planeswalker's colors. Very important. And then you know my favorite removal spell right now, Mortality Spear. It does all the things. You mute it. It does some stuff. It's awesome. There it is. This is the peasant build. Obviously, you can get away without the Yaris, and you can switch something else out for it. But let me show you what it does. We're going to be going up against Joanne piloting Sarkhan Dragon Tail or whatever it is. So I'm expecting we're going to see some dragons. Let's see how this does. Sarkhan Firebrand, Firelord, Firetail, whatever. All right, so what we want to do is quickly get out our Druid class, and we want to start to ramp up into our abilities, and I'm going to show you each one of those things as we go. So there's some white into red, green. We'll just take everything. Just do it all. Now, very important. The path I'm about to take is the path that I recommend that you actually do. You actually want to complete them in order. Dungeon of the Mad Mage, then Lost Mine of Philanderer, and then the Tomb of Annihilation. And the reason I recommend that is the best one, after you've completed all 3 of these, if you're in a longer, grindier game, you want to be using Dungeon of the Mad Mage the most. And the reason is if I select it, you can see that this is it. And you get Yawning Portal, Dungeon level, Goblin Bazaar, Twisted Caverns, Lost Level, Runestone Caverns, yada, 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 yada. I'm not going to go through and individually lay them out for you right now. I'm just going to tell you which one to select. I select that one. That's when we start with. It hits the board, and now we get a choice of the next 2 that's going to happen here in just a second. Let's see here. So we've got some critters. And again, don't be afraid to throw your guys out there just to run interference for you. That's just all that they're designed to do. They're just there to keep you from taking damage in the beginning. I promise you'll get a mountain of creatures on the board after a while. So, and the reach helps, especially if we're going against somebody that's playing dragon level. So let's go ahead and do our first ability. So we're going to venture into the dungeon. So now we've gone into the next level of our dungeon. We're drawing a card, and we draw a card. That's what it is. That's what that level does, okay? I'm going to go green here. All right. Did we venture at that point? Now, there's no cards on the table or anything, so... or no creatures, I should say, on their side, so there's no real impact that we're going to have. I want to get my Troubadour out. Whenever you match this too, I believe it ventures, doesn't it? I don't know how it all works. I'm sorry. I should be totally mastering and showing you how to do this. I don't know how it wins. I just play this, testing it. Oh, and by the way, this deck hasn't lost yet. I've yet to lose a game with this. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how it works. Now, in this instance, well, I'm gonna match double because I'm greedy. I was gonna say you want to go for the red and leave the green, so that when you get your green conversion, you wind up getting some more landfalls from it. Greedy, took it. The other thing here is when you're presented with a learn opportunity in the beginning, early game, you want to go environmental sciences to get more green conversion. When you've established your board presence, then you want to use fractal summoning to empower your creatures to swing for better damage, because eventually they're going to have trample and all kinds of different stuff as they're going along. And I want you to note my life total. Very rarely do I drop below 100 life. Like, I can't remember. It's really, really rare that I do. And if I do, I don't ever stay there. It normally goes right back up because of her other abilities. Oh, come on, give me a good swap here. Fine, we'll go here. And we want to complete our first dungeon as quickly as possible. So, all right, there's a Velomachus. Cool. Nice, thank you. There's a Mortality Spear. Thank you. We'll go there. And we will go... I'm going to use our first ability again. And I'm going to use Twisted Caverns. So in Twisted Caverns... disable target opposing creature until the beginning of your next turn. This will give me a chance to pump up my kicks and be able to use, draw some abilities. And we actually can do some stuff here now. Let's actually go here. And it gives us a chance to be able to pin down their creature. All right, let's go there. That's what they're recommending. That was good. That was a good swap. Thanks for the recommendation. Now I'm at my third ability. So I'm going to Twisted Caverns him. I'm going to lock him down. All right. And I'm getting more... I don't know what I'm doing. So now I've reached lost level. Pick one of the first 2 cards from your library. Fetch that card. It gains 4 mana. Cool. I'm going to confirm. We want more removal. So actually, we don't need more removal. We need Druid class. Now I'm presented with these 2 choices. Runestone Caverns. Pick one of the first 2 cards from your library, then drain X mana from your hand. X is equal to half of that card's base mana cost. Round it up. If you do, fetch that card. It gains full mana. Otherwise, exile the first 2 cards from your library. So that's option 1. Or option B from Muriel's Graveyard is create 3 skeleton tokens. Don't need that right now. I'd rather drain mana from my hand and get it full powered. It didn't do it. Why not? Oh, because I didn't have room, I guess. Oh, no. So I selected that. That's the next thing that's going to happen, right? So now I've set my dungeon path. And next time I venture into the dungeon, that's when that thing is going to happen. Does that make sense? So, yeah, it's craziness, man. It's just craziness. I want to get this out and this out. And can I do my third ability? Nope, I already did it. So we're going to go here. Boom. I'm gaining life. I'm gaining mana. I'm fueling my hand. I'm taking environmental sciences. I'm doing some stuff. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm just pushing buttons and it's doing stuff. Now his disability goes away, right? Now there's that. I'm going to lock that down. I'm going to go ahead and use my second ability. No, I'm going to save the demonstration of the second ability to my next build because I have a lot more legendary creatures in there. I'm going to go right to my third. Let's go create an adventurous song deal. So now I've got Runestone Caverns. Now I can go pick a card. I will take Yaris, and then I take 6 out of my hand. He gets full mana. He gets to hit the board. We want to recharge up these. Now I've got mana field on the board with that one. So I'm going to go ahead and that's dungeon map. So I'm going to match it. Boom. Now I go into Deep Mines, pick one of the first 3 cards from your library, fetch that card, again 6 mana. Cool. So I'm going to take, let's take this one so we can keep drawing cards. Do I get a match? I did get a match. Cool. I get more matches. Come on. Come on. One of these now. Okay. So I finally have achieved the end of that first dungeon. Draw up to 3 cards, then pick one of the first 4 cards in your hand that card gains full mana. So everything is pretty full except for Mortality Spear. So I'm going to fill it up. It gets full mana, right? I don't know, dude. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. It's so hard to keep up with. And it just keeps going. So now I get to do my second venture into the dungeon. I would suggest the Lost Mine of the Philanderer to get going. And the reason we want it is because we want to, right now we have both of our reach creatures on the board. And we're presented with our first choice. Choose a path. Which way do you want to go? You want to go Goblin Lair, which is create 2 Goblin tokens, or do you want to go Mine Tunnels, which is create a gold token? I will go with the tokens just in case one of my creatures die. Then I get to replace it with one of the creatures up there. I don't know, man. It's goofy what's happening right now. And I'm full up on mana. So now I get to choose another path. Storeroom. Target creature you control gets +2/+2. Or Dark Pool. Not to be accused of a dead pool. Your opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. I'll give my dude some life. So now that I've completed that, I've got my tokens here. And I don't want to lose my Troubadour. My Troubadour is the good stuff. So I'm going to actually replace my legendary guy. You'll see why here in a minute. I used something, I kill him. I think that was one of my spears that wasn't muted down. I'm converting I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm full life. I'm still drawing. I'm doing all this stuff. You create essentially a loop deck with this. I'm going to give this guy +2/+2 since he's got reach and trample. Yeah. And that's how this works. I have no idea what's happening. I don't know why it works. It just has so many things that synergize and work together. Could you imagine playing something like this in an actual card game and having to keep track with paper and pen all the different things that are happening right now? I can't even imagine what MTG cardboard is like right now. My goodness. All right, so that said, we're going to go ahead and do, now that we have Dungeon Spoils, you can hit the down arrow here and you can see our Dungeon Spoils. We have Dungeon of the Mad Mage and Lost Mine of the Philanderer, right? So when we use our third ability, what'll happen is that all of our creatures get +5/+5 for each of those. So that means +10 and plus another 2. So it should be +12. So let's see if my math works out here. Yes. Plus another 2, right? Okay, now we're going into another Tome of Annihilation. Is the final one. I doubt we're going to get to complete it. And the reason I'm doing this as the as my third creature for the token is because one of the downsides of the Tome of Annihilation is you got to sacrifice your last creature. So I'd rather we're losing a token to that in this process than building up one of my main guys or losing my Troubadour because he always gets pushed in that final position because the other 2 have reach. That's really the reason I do it. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's go here, I think. I don't know. Let's go here. See what that does. Okay, so Veils of Fear. So this is interesting. So you've got 2 paths. If you go to the left, you have 1, 2, 3 steps. Or if you go to the right, you just have 1 step and you reach the end. I always just opt for the final one. So Veils of Fear, if we do that, if a player has 4 or more cards in their hand, that player discards a card. Otherwise, that player loses 6 life. Okay? Or Oubliette. I like Oubliette. Discard a card, destroy the last creature you control, destroy an artifact support you control, destroy land support you control. I mean, it is devastating. I don't have a lot of that stuff, so we're just going to go ahead and use Oubliette. Bam, 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 bam. I will get to show off all 3. There he goes. Discarded a card, lost the deal, did some stuff, winged the wang. Gain some life, doing conversions. We get a token guy because we've completed the third deal, and I often replace him with somebody else because I don't really use him. He's no room for him. Now that we're towards the end game, now we're going to use fractal summoning. And we get to start over with all of our ventures into the dungeons. Now I use Dungeon of the Mad Mage because I like getting cards for free. I shouldn't need to use it past the second turn, though. We're pretty much done. That's game. That's game. That is game. So let's go ahead and use our third ability, and you'll see the full power that is her third thing. And game. I mean, that's essentially game. Let's just wrap this puppy up. In short, I have no idea what all happens. It just does a lot of stuff. And if you want to keep track of all of it, there you go. The challenge becomes I've played this Planeswalker so much over the last week that it got to the point where it's like, okay, decision, 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 decision. There's so many decisions to make, it gets exhausting and it's fatiguing. Very powerful. Again, that's my peasant build. It's yet to lose. It hasn't lost yet. I have not submitted it or run it in a Trial of the Plains green yet. That is going to be one of the next things I do. A side note, if you are playing against tokens, then you might want to use some type of other removal with flash where you can get it. I don't know which one off the top of my head. But that's not my mythic build. Let's show you my mythic build. So my friend, I know I promised I was going to show you my mythic build. Here it is. I'm a man of my word. The Terraskew, Old Gnawbone, Chromatic Prismatic Bridge, Instrument of the Bards. I'll go more into detail here in that in a minute. Animist's Awakening, Reclaim the Waste. I'm actually leaning more towards Field Trip. I think Field Trip's better than Animist's Awakening. Note, I think that it is actually better. Spell Satchel, Avatar of Growth, Eryximethus, Slumbering Isle. This is my mythic build. The challenge with this build, you can tell it's dark out. I played this a few times and recorded it to try to show you. This build, everything in green right now with Old Gnawbone, you know, that is the build. You're going to go build with Old Gnawbone. If you have it, you should have it. You should use it. It's absolutely one of the most, if not the most powerful creature in the meta right now that will stand the test of time rolling into Standard, into the next set. Now, however, this build did not feature the secondary skill set of Ellywick. And I really wanted to feature that. So you can screenshot this and you go try playing with this. It's dominant. Anything with Old Gnawbone is dominant. Terraskew is just amazing. That creature is just stupid powerful. I will do some videos on that in the future. However, I want to spotlight this. It's an event deck that I put together, and this really leans on the legendary stamp. So you can see that legendary here is Toski, Bearer of Secrets. Toski's super cool. I never spotlighted him before, but I do really enjoy him. 14 mana for a 1/1 squirrel. Can't have its mana drained or raised, and it can't block. When a creature you control deals combat damage to your opponent's planeswalker, draw a card. It gains X mana. X is this creature's power. Now you would think that I'd get this guy all buffed up and we would rely on that, right? Yeah, every now and then it plays, but that's not really the purpose of the deck. You'll see. Lizette, Dean of the Root, 16 mana, legendary 6/6, human druid, invoke this other person. We never do. When you gain life for the first time on your turn, you may gain 5 mana from your. You may drain 5 mana from your hand. If you do, creatures you control get +2/+2. Then creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Should be two separate things that lasts past the end of turn. It does not. If not invoked at the beginning of your turn, target creature you control gains Berserk and lifelink until end of turn. Aha! He's undestructible, so we're going to use that on him. Instrument of the Bards, 5 mana, artifact. At the beginning of your turn, increase this card's level by 3. No matter what you do, you just untap, it's done. Beginning of your turn, it just happens. Mana Field, the first historic card in your hand gains X mana. X is equal to this support's level. When the support's gem is matched, fetch the first historic card from your library. Put it in your hand. Dungeon Map. Yep, an uncommon made it to this build. 7 mana, when you activate a loyalty ability, venture into the dungeon, then the first card in your venture in a dungeon, yada yada, hand gains 4 mana, complete a dungeon, create a gold token. Flex card, but I like it here. This one is super cool. Rare, 12 mana, Bard class. This support can't be reinforced. When you cast the historic card for the first time each turn, increase this card's level by 1. If this card's level is 3 or more, the first legendary card in your hand gains 3 mana. Okay. When you cast a legendary card, if this card's level is 5 or more, pick one of the first 2 cards from your library, fetch that card, it gains half of its mana, then exile the other. and then all the other stuff happens on top of that. Ooh, sassy. I like that card. Ritgert Crest, mana field, gain X loyalty. X is equal to the base power of your first creature. Then if that is a legendary creature, that creature gains +4/+4 until end of turn. Noticing a theme here, everything just has legendary. The flip side, that's a cool picture. As long as you control another legendary creature, this creature gets +5/+3 and gains vigilance. When you activate a loyalty ability, fetch first legendary creature from your library. It gains X mana. X is the amount of loyalty you have. So you want to have a full hand of loyalty so you can get some full mana. This is more for removal, destroy an opposing artifact or enchantment support. If you can't create a gold token, then venture into the dungeon. Green conversion with field trip, and then mortality spear just to kind of clean up the board a bit. I want you to see the full power that is Ellywick's second ability, because I didn't use it very much, and if you're sleeping on Ellywick and her secondary ability, you might be missing out on something that's really, really powerful. Let me show you. All right. So here we are against Kasmina, arguably the strongest two-color walker in the game right now. She is a beast for sure. Let us impart on her ways of pain she's never experienced. Let's go green. Go green. Let's go some more green. Let's go environmental sciences again. Early to mid-game, you want to go ahead and convert as much as you possibly can. Got up to my secondary ability. Let's rock and the roll. Now, I'm still pretty partial to jump into our third just so we can go get everything that we want out of our stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and do Instrument of the Bards. I gain the mana, right? Oh, and I didn't spotlight what the secondary ability is. Let's go here. Boom. So I got my secondary ability again. I'll talk about it here. And I'm up to my third, so I'll just do that the next turn. So your secondary ability, again, pick one of the first 4 different cards from your library, fetch that card, it gains half of its mana. Now, so regardless, whatever you grab, you're getting half. But if that card is legendary, you gain 9 life and you gain 6 loyalty. So it gets you a good step of the way towards getting towards your next level let's go there, in your loyalty strive. See, I'm already up to my third, which I'm going to use this next turn. Because Kasmina's no joke, I'm not going to mess around with her. All right, so that is... Toski's pretty much ready to go. Let's go ahead and do that. Let us go... That is that. Let's actually go here. Boom. Oh, okay. Now that my third's on the board, I get to go into the dungeon. Same rules as before. Dungeon 1, 2, and then 3. I just find that it works best that way, especially if it's a grindier game. Now, this is going to probably be a grindier game because Kasmina is kind of a beast, and I welcome that. I want to show it off. I want you to see what the power is. Actually, let's go use our secondary ability. Find another legendary card, bam, bam, and just keep it coming. I mean, you pretty much should be able to cycle through and just do the thing. Look, I'm already up to my third again. Nutty. Nutty, nutty, nutty. I got an extra swap. Let's do... let's go... Yeah, let's go there. Get some green conversion. Oh, that didn't happen. Why? Oh, because I didn't have a legendary card in my hand. That's the wrong card. I thought I had Bard class out. I don't. My dude is just taking my stuff out. I do not like him, Sam I am. Let's go ahead and do... Let's do my third ability. Because I want to get him beefed up. I want to get him stronger. And I want to go ahead and do that. Now we're going to Twisted Caverns. I want to pin that monkey down. Doesn't sound right, but it is true. Dude keeps taking out my stuff. Really aggravating. Alright, let's see here. Like I said, grindier games. Let's go... Actually, let's go here. Boom. I'm going to pin him down. Let's just give ourselves a break for a turn. Let's go ahead and keep, again, grinding, grinding, grinding. We're trying to grind our stuff out here. Ooh, Shimmer Dragon. She's playing Old Gnawbone. I'm telling you, it's happening. So we got to get all of our stuff in line to be able to do that. In fact, let's go here. Let's go here. Boom. We're going to go to our third again. So I don't have room in my hand and I really don't want to throw anything away. And let's go... Ooh. Let's go here. All right, we're going to go there. I'm going to keep that. Gets half of its mana. And I'm going to take some damage here. Let's see. That monkey's got to go. Got to go. Gots to. All right, let's put this up here. Let's go there. Let's keep it. That gets full mana. That's on the board. Let's go here. Actually, I want to get the Bard class out. Do I have a Bard class? No, I do not. And in fact, I want to unmute this because I want to kill that monkey now. I'm tired of him killing all my stuff. And let's go... Boy, oh boy, let's go here. It's just enough. Oh, no green conversion, though. Brutal. That looks like that last support's going away. Let's see what we got here. Is that a fractal token? It is a fractal token. Look at this. Oh, it isn't going away. I wonder why. What does he do? Oh, yeah, okay. So now I'm giving... So this is why we were playing these two together. Now he's got Berserk and Lifelink. So now we can start to recoup some of our life total. I want this up here. So let's go up here. Let's go ahead and mute down the Toski. And let's go... I guess we'll go green. Boom, that goes away. I should have waited. I'll go ahead and do that. Make it bigger, gain some life. Wang. Keep. Gain some mana, and there we go. Okay, so now we're starting to get this bad boy back under control. She's at 64 life. Oh, there's Nah. There's OG. Okay, so... My goodness, he is going off right here. Let's see. It's my turn, though. All right, so we're going to give this the stuff. And all of that's flying, so it's not going to really matter. Let's go to Bard class. Give that full power. Do I have any kind of removal here? Ugh, I do not. This is going to be brutal. Let's see here. Let's go here. Let's go... Normally I would go to the secondary one, but I want to try to lock down their creatures as best I can. That did some stuff. I don't know what I did. There's what I need. Do we want to do that? Trample? No, not now. I will do that. And so I've got a way to remove one of his creatures here in a second, but let's hope I survive this turn. Let's see. It's going to be brutal. All right, there goes the Monkey King. That is a lot of Nah. 15, I think I made it. I think I survived. But I got to do 37 points of damage, and I should be able to take at least one of them out. Preferably the Nah Bone. But I'm feeling up whatever they've got in their hand. Oh, and I forgot. Yeah, he gets to destroy all that stuff. Good thing he doesn't have a secondary force of damage there for me. All right, so let's see what I can get done here against Shimmer. If I can just survive the turn. I need to have a way to give Toski flying. That's just what's got to happen there. Let's go here. And what is that? Mordenkainen. You fool! Alright, let's go. Oof, it's a fractal. I want to power that up. Alright, let's go here. Boom. Oh, I messed up. I totally just messed up. Oh, I need some miraculous stuff happening here. Let's see. Didn't do it. Let's see. All right, I got 54 life. He's down to 6. Can I survive the turn? I totally flubbed that. I totally boned that. Okay. 30. I'll take that. I'll take that. All day, baby. Let's go. Game. Look, what is this little glitch that's happening up here? What is that? Gold token? When did that start happening? All right, and there go all the gold tokens. But that's all right, though. Because here comes the pain. All right, giving that back to him. And, oh, they have something on the board, don't they? Ooh, and they've got life. I did not see that. Buggard. What's my secondary ability do? All right, let me use my secondary ability. I need to get a removal. There it is. Okay. And I need to remove that one. Boom. I'm going to Twisted Caverns. All right. Destroyed. I'm gonna go Fractal Summoning. That destroys the lifelink for them. Kills the secondary creature, gains some life. Goes after that. Is it enough? Is it enough? Let's see. I got to survive another hand with full power over there. Let's see. 18. I'm going to keep. Monkey Death. I'll take that. There's Nah. That's fine. That's fine. 26. Brutal. Look at this. Look at the token right there. What is happening here? What is this? All right. Is this game? So we don't want to... No, that's game. We win. Because they're all flying. There's nothing I can do to get it. I'm going to go ahead and take lifelink just in case they have some way of destroying my dude, which I don't think they will, but let's go there. Twisted Caverns, let's lock you down, baby. Yeah. Boom. Let's go get that. And a super grindy game, but one that shows that even with a really poorly constructed deck that really focuses on that, you can take out a deck as powerful and as stupid OP as Gnawbone. Gnawbone is stupid powerful. Now, if it's PvP, I'm dead. There's no way I would have survived this, but whew, that is the hardest deck in the meta, and Ellywick with some legendary card, Tribal, wound up surviving. I'm not going to say it beat it. I'm going to say it survived it and won the turn. It got to a full... That deck, you know what, I'm pretty proud. That deck got to full OG O power, and we wound up taking it out. I'm pretty proud of myself. So let's get to the recap. So here are my final thoughts on Ellywick Tumblestrum. She is so much fun. I mean, with the right builds and the right cards, you just wind up doing and comboing a bunch of neat stuff. I didn't expect her abilities to synergize as well as she does with Adventure or Venture into the Dungeon. The challenge is Venture into the Dungeon isn't as strong as I'd like it to be. It doesn't give you... I feel that the payoff isn't as strong as like a Kasmina is, where Kasmina is so strong. She has such strong cards at her disposal with her ability to go and grab learn cards that pretty much run the gambit. I mean, you can start her deck or build a deck with garbage cards, spell cards, but of every color that she can qualify for, and you wind up pulling all kinds of great cards. Ellywick doesn't necessarily have that same level of power with the Venture into the Dungeon stuff. However, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. The only downside is the decision-making process. But once you get the decision-making process down, the tree down, and again, literally, go in order. 1, 2, 3, get them down. Just know you're going to lose your third creature and be okay with it. Don't let your biggest, most important creature be in the third position if you're taking that Tome of Annihilation dungeon. But once it's complete and then you start rolling into your third, there's not many that can stand up against it. And what's really fascinating is if you build a legendary deck like I demonstrated here, your life gain is insane. You can recoup and come back from near losses like I demonstrated here that are grindier games that you can fight with. Again, didn't spotlight the Mythic Build. Not really needed because green is so dumb powerful right now. Might be the most powerful color in the set right now with old Gnawbone, and you know, blue and green together is just pretty much really insane. You saw Kasmina. So the bottom line here is, should you get Ellywick? Listen, if you really like all of these planeswalkers, all of their mana gain abilities, I think I prefer them over any other sets we've had, any other planeswalkers we've had. I like these these combinations and these bonuses more than anything we've had in mono walkers. +5 to their main, +4 to their complementary, +3 to their mid, and then minuses to the other two. You got 3 colors that are in the positive. That plays, I mean, that games the entire time. Rarely are you going to be in a position where you're not able to make an in-color match that's going to impact your positive board state. And even a +3 is as good as like a tricolor walker. Like, that's actually better than a tricolor walker, better than Bolas, any of the Boloses, or even better than Sarkin. I mean, his negatives, you know, he's got 2 negatives that come down on that, but honestly, man, I really, really like these color combinations. I think they all offer a lot more flexibility, a lot more conversion in color for yourself and mono colors, but you can use your secondary colors so you're not popping your gems. It's just really incredible. And her passive, her alignment, is one of the best out of all of them. Green, the first creature card in your hand gains 2 mana. If that card is legendary, gains 3 mana instead. Pretty powerful. Yeah, well, second powerful. I think Mordenkainen's still the best when it comes to that. Bottom line is this, my friends. I really like Ellywick Tumblestrum. Is she worth the IRL money for $24.99 in the deal right now? Definitely worth considering. Or if you're watching this while she's available for gold, she's a no-brainer for gold. I think she's actually, if you're into green, you're into green combos, and you're looking for something to rival Nissa Worldwaker, she's not going to do that. She's not as powerful as a Nissa Worldwaker, but she's up there. She is very mechanic dependent as to what's available in the standard rotation right now. So we still haven't rotated, and these cards are going to be available for the next year plus. So I think you're going to be okay for a while on that. But after the fact, like if you're watching this after 2022's set rotations, maybe time to reconsider, and maybe I'll shoot another video at that time if I'm still doing these things, to let you know what I actually think of it. As far as she's concerned right now, I don't know the last time I had as much fun as I did just kind of doing this. All of these walkers have been really, really fun. She's very fun. I would not fault you for picking her up in the vault right now for the price that goes along with it. So with that said, my friends, those are my demonstrations of what she's got. What do you think? Did you pick her up? How are you breaking her outside of the standard OG stuff? And again, old Gnawbone is just busted. I said in my previous video, I think that the strongest dragon is Erdrigan. He is, I think, the most flexible, but OG's such an engine, man. He is such an engine. It's pretty brutal. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them. As always, my friends, I appreciate you. You could have been anywhere in the world for the last whatever time frame this took. Chose to spend the time with me here. It is appreciated. Join the party. Click the links below. Subscribe. Till our next adventure, my friends, what have you thought of all 5 of these planeswalkers? I would love to hear your thoughts on them. Which ones you picked up? Which ones were we right? Which ones did you pick up on my recommendation and are actually enjoying as much as I said? I've had so much fun with them all. I'd love to hear your feedback. But until our next quest, swords up.